everybody, Jared Jascott from YoTengo.Bot here. Today what we're going to talk about is a problem that we see a ton in a lot of our chatbots. We call it the phone number problem. What it really comes down to is that a lot of people give their phone number to the chatbots at random times in the chat, and we need the bot to understand that that is a phone number right there, because if we ask for the phone number later in the conversation, they kind of get annoyed with it. They also may not give us their number again, and for us, the phone number is a really strong indication that they actually want to call right there. So what we've done is we've seen that this is a huge problem, and we think that it's going to give a 230% lift to the number of people that give us their phone numbers based on our data. And Brian and I today are going to explain how Brian fixed the problem. We're going to replicate the problem, and then we're going to show you the solution, and hopefully in a couple weeks we can come back to you and prove to you that we've gotten that 230% gain. But here is the phone number problem with Jared Jascott and Brian Wilkinson.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to replicate the problem both ways to show people the 28% fail and the 52% fail.
Yeah.
And we're also going to, because Brian and I are all about transparency, we're actually going to show you a diagram that basically is, this is what the bot looks like underneath the hood. And that'll, hopefully that'll help us frame the problem so that all you can understand it. And then finally, actually, we're going to show you the bot that now has the solution that Brian has created, and show it working. So let's start by replicating the problem. Of course, the bot that we always pick on is OscarBot from my law firm, Jascott.Abogado. And first, we're going to show you sort of what it looks like to go through the flow with OscarBot and try to give your phone number. So why don't you just walk us through it, Brian?
Sure. So in this case, it's acting like I'm coming from some sort of direct link. It made me click start, and we're showing the attorney welcome message here. All the bot messages are going to be in gray here, just like in Facebook, and all the messages the user will be typing will be in blue, also just like in Facebook.
So this, what you've got there on the right is like a little map that shows the bot. If they do this, then you do this next, right?
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Right. And so now we've presenting our menu options. The one we're really interested in today is someone asking for a consult. Perfect. Or clicking on the consult button, which I'm going to do.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Now you'll notice here that it gets quite complex because we have two different options we're offering, whether the firm wants to use qualification questions or not. Your firm doesn't, so we go right into the sort of explanation of why consults are important.
Perfect.
And things like that. And we give people options. We say, do you want us to call you? You can call us, or you can make the appointment right now. It'll send them off to Acuity.
Yeah, exactly. The reason for that is that we're all about helping users. We want the user to be able to do what they want, not to push them around. So that's why we're giving them all those options.
Right. So I clicked call me, please.
Perfect.
And now the flow chart here is diverging a little bit because this flow chart is representing the next version.
Okay.
Right? So in the next version, we're going to get the number first and then ask when they want to be called.
Perfect. But now we're asking.
We just ask it in the opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a small change, but.
Yeah, I'm just going to say call me now.
Okay. Perfect.
And now
I think it's important for people to understand in the context of my law firm, what happens is when Brian says call me now, as soon as we get that phone number, we actually send an email to a call center that makes an outbound call and attempts to schedule the call with Brian instantly. So that's the action, that's the workflow that happens after this, if he gives his phone number.
Right. And so this is the only place currently that the bot is expecting a phone number.
Yeah.
Right. So if I gave it my phone number, it would work. It would call me, whatever. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say.
And like 28% of our users, Brian decides not to give the phone number here. But unfortunately, the way this bot is built, it's still going to email that. I just got an email that someone wants a call and their phone number is no quiero. So that, that's a wasted email to the call center, and you'll notice that Oscar didn't come back and say, hey, that's not a phone number. Oscar just accepted that blankly as a phone number.
Right, and you can see here in the flowchart that that is changing and has changed in the newer versions.
Right.
We make sure it's a valid phone number. We give them a chance to confirm it. There's a whole pathway around that.
Perfect.
But the other issue, the 52%, I believe it was, is that this is a small part of the entire realm of possibilities currently.
That's the whole, like those are all the paths through Oscar, if you will.
Yeah, that we've traced out so far.
Okay.
And so the issue is, you know, I'm pretending like I'm starting a new conversation. And I just am going to say, you know, call me. Which is a lot of people do that, you know.
Right. And 52% of people, in fact, do that.
And a lot of them, it is in this very first message. Obviously, a lot of times they'll give more information. They'll say, you know, this is my situation. Please give me a call at my number.
Perfect.
And
right.
so,
and I mean, as we say, you know, that's the goal. Our goal is not to ask them 8 questions. Our goal is to get their phone number and understand what they want. So if we're getting our goal, but we're not actually getting anything out of it, that's just insane. And so this is really going to hopefully give us double the number of phone numbers that we're able to deliver to the attorneys that have bots plugged in.
For sure. And so just a quick idea how that'll work. Obviously, the flowchart does not reflect reality in Oscar.
Okay.
But from any point, we detect a phone number using pattern recognition. Then we're going to ask them just to double check it's their phone number. If it is their phone number, we still do the choice point between if the firm is using qualifications or not. In your case, you don't use qualifications.
Right.
And so we dump them into a slightly customized message about consults and why they're important.
Yeah.
We still give them the options. We say you can schedule it yourself through Acuity, or we can call them.
Perfect.
Now, if they select you can call me, it skips everything and just goes right to when would you want me to call you.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's really the sort of the magic of natural language processing, is that we're able to take just a sentence from a user normally and respond in context without having to ask all these questions that annoy people when they've already told us what they want. But what we got here is, it's nice that we've got a flow chart and we claim we know how to do it, but let's see the proof here, Brian.
Sure. So I'm gonna switch over here.
This is the new IBM Watson powered slash Brian Wilkinson 1970s pattern matching powered bot.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make it a little bigger. Okay. So haven't talked to it. And we're just gonna say, well, actually, let's give it a chance to talk back. Let's get it going. Right, same type of thing. Comes back, asks how it can help me, what I would like help with. Now let's go through the 28% problem first. The bad numbers. Right. So.
Yeah. So here, this is where you said before no quiero.
Yeah. Yep. So let's do it again.
Yeah.
In all caps, it's time for fun.
Cool. Oh, look at that. It realized that that was not a phone number and it came back.
Right, exactly. And
can
then
you give it a real one to prove that it's.
Yeah, I can. If I was to give it another non-phone number, at this point it would say, let me look into that for you and someone from my firm will get back to you. It goes off into the needs human help realm.
Okay, great.
But I will give it a phone number now. and it should recognize it.
And push it through.
Yeah.
So Watson's going a little slower than Chat Fuel today, which is it's interesting because we've definitely seen little variance on both sides. Here, it's going really slow, actually.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, so it got tripped up somewhere.
All right,
still,
well, let's go back. Let's just replicate the other side of the problem.
Sure. So I'm going to go back to the main menu.
Okay.
Right.
Now here, this is the 52% problem.
Yep.
Cool.
Someone just giving their number at a point in the conversation which we were not expecting it.
Boom! Check it out. Nice. It worked perfectly.
Yep. And so
2% solve, and we've already demonstrated the 28% solve. Though it looks like a little bit of debugging is needed, but this is really gonna, especially for the people that don't have qualification like me, this is gonna double the number of phone calls that we're able to make. So this is a really brilliant solution. Well done.
thanks.
Yeah, it's cool. Anything else you want to say about the phone number problem, Brian?
No, I think we've made a lot of improvements on it. I think there are still some improvements that can be made as we see how users actually interact with it.
Yeah.
Right now, for example, we're accepting any phone number. In the future, if someone gives us an international phone number, we may be able to detect it and say, we don't make international calls, something like that.
That's interesting. Sure.
So there's more work to be done in this realm, but we have to see what sort of problems are actually cropping up first before we decide what to tackle.
Well, I'm still pretty satisfied with what is potentially like a 200 and 30% gain from this one solution.
Yeah, I think it'll bring a lot more numbers into all the attorneys.
Perfect. Great job, Brian. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.